What's up, fellow athletes? Excited for today's video. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Today I'm talking about my thought process, looking back, looking forward in this era of 2020, in this era of COVID, how I'm thinking about maintaining motivation and what that looks like. Because obviously with everything that's gone on thus far this year, it's easy to look at our 2020 calendar and racing and training and just say, you know what, that is worthless. Let's chuck it in the trash, because everything has either been postponed or canceled or up in the air. Even the few races that I have later on in the year, it's still pretty iffy if those happen. And I think it's important to step back and reflect and say, okay, whether or not triathlon training resumes, triathlon racing resumes, we need to look at the big picture. And in the grand scheme of things, triathlon racing, running racing is very, very, very small. And I think deep in our hearts we know that, because there's so much of a sense of loss going on in the world right now, right? Friends and family are losing loved ones. Friends and family are losing jobs. Small businesses are shutting down. Everyone is feeling this sense of loss kind of around the world. And I think part of it, though, is the sense of loss of identity. Because, you know, whether you're a triathlete or whether you're a runner, or you really like going to concerts, or you really like rock climbing, or you really like just being outside and going and doing all sorts of stuff, going to a ball game, whatever it is that you kind of identify with, chances are that that thing isn't happening anymore. So it can be hard to look at ourselves and say, okay, who is a triathlete? Who is a runner without a race on the calendar? Who's a rock climber without a rock climbing gym to go to? Who is a concert goer, a real music junkie without a concert to go to? So everyone is kind of dealing with this sense of loss of identity, which can be really challenging, right? It feels like most of the time, especially races, that's the thing at the end of the calendar where we're pointing our ship in that direction. And a lot of times that is the thing that is providing the motivation to push our ship forward. Now, we can kind of think of that in a couple of different ways. Is motivation really the thing at the very end of the destination? Or is the motivation the thing in our sails that's pushing us slightly forward? Is it that direction, the way that we are dealing with all the twists and turns? Are we able to come back to that North Star? And for a lot of us, we realize that maybe it isn't that one particular race that was our North Star, but maybe there's a deeper reason, right? Maybe we can look at how triathlon or how running fits into our lives and realize that there is a deeper meaning to all of this crazy training that we do. Because again, it's easy to look at all of this stuff and say, why are you still training 10, 15 hours a week? That doesn't make it, there's not a race on the calendar. Now, of course, the good thing about endurance sports is that what you do today impacts how you do next week, but it also impacts how you do next year. We're constantly putting workouts in this fitness bank that we can draw on from years to come. And I know the workouts that I did several years ago are still having an impact on my ability to compete and train today. So for us, thankfully, there's always that light at the very, very end of the tunnel, not 3 months from now, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, where we're able to look at that and say, you know, what we do matters several years down the road. Not just a couple months, but several years down the road. Now, maybe we don't have to train quite as intense to build up to a race and reach our peak performance, but at the same time, doing something is almost always better than doing nothing. That said, this has given me a chance to look at my identity and say, okay, yes, 5 years from now, do I still want to be a triathlete? Do I still want to be a runner? The answer is absolutely yes. But sometimes we need those shorter term little motivation boosts. We need a little bit of what I like to call matchstick motivation. Those big goals 5 years from now, Those are kind of like the hot coals that will keep us burning, keep that fire burning for a really long period of time. But right now we're feeling this sense of sadness, we're feeling this sense of loss that's kind of raining on our fire, raining on our parade. So we need a little bit of matchstick motivation, right? Those small, tiny goals that can help us get through today's training, tomorrow's training, this week's training. Something that's a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel, where a race would probably serve that purpose normally, but we are looking for something shorter term. So for me, I know that looks like a couple different things. I am going to try to PR in the half marathon in about 5 weeks, and I'm also going to try the Murph challenge. And I think that is the piece that I want to focus on, because right now there is no way in heck that I could do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats in between running 2 hard miles. But I think that's the fun of it. We can kind of look at this time and see what are those aspects that we've maybe wanted to do and incorporate into our training, but because of our prioritization of races, we haven't been able to do, or we haven't felt like was a high enough priority. And for me, that's probably the strength side. Plus, there's all sorts of other projects that I have going on that have kind of been on the back burner and have moved towards the front burner. Still, I think it's important that we give ourselves the structure. Training can give our lives structure when so much of our daily structure has gone out the window, that we can still provide some sense of normalcy when we're going out and doing our training. But at the same time, it's fun to incorporate a couple different things. And for me, that might be the strength component. Trying to do a Murph workout, a CrossFit-based workout that I have no idea if I'll be able to do it or not. In fact, I made a bet with my fiance that I could do a really fast time in exchange for, if I don't do it, I'll be cleaning the house for not years to come, but I'll be cleaning the house for a while. Just something fun to keep it interesting. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's strength, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's something else entirely, but incorporating some of those things that you've wanted to and you've thought about, but you haven't actually put on your calendar, put on your daily schedule. So for me, that's what that looks like, is I'm gonna attack the Murph workout on Memorial Day, and then I'm going to try to PR in the half marathon shortly after that. Give myself a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel, or in the tunnel. Who knows what life looks like after that, but it can be really challenging when everything is a big question mark. Give yourself something to look forward to. Whatever that looks like for you, give yourself something to look forward to and enjoy it. Enjoy going out there and training. Enjoy every aspect that you can, because it's that deep sense of joy, that deep sense of gratitude, of fulfillment that you get. That's the thing that keeps the wind in your sails. That's the thing that keeps that fire burning for years to come. Not the PRs, not the shiny stuff, not the medals or whatever else. So I hope you took something out of that. Looking forward to trying to train for this crazy challenge, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. See you next time.